and welcome back to Wavra Farms. We are here in a flower bed, and I wanted to talk about maintenance here towards the end of summer on some of our plants. And so, first things first, this flower bed here kind of is in front of my house. It is planted in shades of whites, purples, and a little bit of pinks. We have been working on getting some mulch down, getting things well composted, to feed the plants, suppress the weeds, and to help conserve water for this fall. Usually I like to get that on earlier. It's just been so busy this summer that it just hasn't really happened until now. So let's talk about a couple different plants in here, some maintenance on them, and let's just move right along. Okay, so first things first, this here is an Alstroemeria. Alstroemerias, this is in the Princess series, are super easy. They bloom all summer long. They are very low maintenance. If Andrew zooms in here a little bit, you will see that I need to do a little deadheading on it. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So as my flowers fall off, I am left with these seed heads, and that's what those are. And so basically what I want to do is I want to follow that down inside, and I'm going to give it a pull. And as I pluck that out, I take off a tiny piece of the roots, and that's what tells it to send more up. That's what keeps it blooming. If I go through and I cut them, the plant doesn't realize that it needs to shoot more up. So I can quickly go through and basically just give all of these a quick pull to kind of clean it up. And as I pull these out, like I said, it's going to send more up, and this will continue to bloom clear into the fall. I do have a bunch of new buds here started, so that will be great. The cone flowers, kind of depending on what you want to do, they can be cut back, or you can leave the cones standing for the winter time. I usually tend to leave the cones standing. It feeds the little finches, and it just brings some more wildlife into my yard. The coral bells, they bloomed. I didn't get them deadheaded. So some of the smaller ones, sometimes you can pull them out. Otherwise, that's just a quick trim with the clippers. Keep your fingers back, reach down in there, and just trim out some of these nasty stalks. And that just really helps to clean those up. You can take like this middle stalk clear down inside here, and I do have some new ones blooming. So that's pretty quick and easy. And a couple more. But there we go, a little bit of maintenance, and it's just really cleaned up. This still has some blooms on it, so I could either trim them off or I could cut them out, but I do have new buds coming up. I believe this is obsidian, so really nice dark colors with some pale pink blooms. So the alliums are just kind of starting. This is serendipity, and so this one I leave alone. In fact, it's quite the pollinator. It always has the bees kind of sitting on it, being active. I've got some other active bees right here flying around. We are early morning, so they're just still kind of chilling out. But if I continue to go through and trim up a few of these, it doesn't take long to get this flower bed pretty much whipped into shape. I won't do all of these because, you know, you can all see basically what needs to happen, and it goes fairly quick, but still, I don't need to waste your time with some general maintenance. But already look how much better this flower bed is looking with just a little bit of maintenance. watch for is like your little hardy geraniums. So this is a little white hardy geranium. And if you look at this, you'll see here's some flower buds. These can just be pulled off. It bloomed in the spring. Sometimes it'll bloom again in the fall. This is called Blanco. So it's a white with a pink center. But if you look here, you'll notice that I do have a different leaf coming in. And so chances are I probably have a weed in here hiding underneath this plant. And sure enough, I can get that pulled out. So when you're looking and grooming your plants, make sure that you are also looking for the leaf texture, that you're not missing anything. So here's a couple more Alstroemerias that I'll go through and trim up. Really, this flower bed's pretty easy. Now I'm kind of to the point, and it's always a really hard decision. This is Pink Profusion Salvia. It still looks okay, but I really want it to bloom again this fall. So I need to make the choice to either prune it or leave it. And so it's one of those that I'm actually going to go in and I am going to prune it down. That way I can flush some new growth, get some nice color, and so we're just going to trim this sucker down. And in fact, I did one yesterday, and so we'll just kind of zoom over here to it. I just pretty much went in with my clippers and I just cut it down. And I could even cut it shorter. I just kind of left it taller because I wanted to see when we were bark dusting kind of where it was going to go. But really, this will just force it to send more blooms up from the bottom and give me a nice, strong, healthy plant. So I will go through and do those to the salvias, and then we'll show you in another month kind of what those look like. I will also go through and probably deadhead the rest of these. I've got some butterfly bushes that I can prune up a little bit as well. So what I like to do this time of year, because everything has been working so hard, is I really like the flower tone, or actually, sorry, this is plant tone is what I'm going to use in this one, because I've got a variety of things. I've got some shrubs, I've got some perennials, and I don't have any annuals in here. I do have annuals in a pot. But I can go through. I love this fertilizer for so many reasons. First off, it's organic. It breaks down really well in my soil. The plants use everything that is in it. Since the numbers are so low, you do tend to apply it a little more often, but the plants really use everything that you put into them. I also love the fact that it's Velcro. So at the top of this bag, it's Velcro. I can open it, I can seal it back up, I can put it on my shelf, and look, nothing comes out. That's like my #1 selling point for myself is I hate opening a huge bag of fertilizer and just having it get damp, or you leave it in the yard, you forget about it. This is my absolute favorite part about this company. I mean, they were just so ingenious to even think of us gardeners like this. So I'm just going to go around super easy, and I'm just going to toss some of this around, especially these plants that I have trimmed, and give them a good dose of fertilizer. And it's just, a handful here and there. It's not like it's rocket science. And this will just really help to get these through. So even like my white Julia back here, it could probably use a good dose. And my proud berries, they're just starting to push blooms. It could use a little fertilizer to make it through. So these are going to have nice pink berries here in the back. I don't need to do anything to these. And the nice thing is even in the winter time, after they've dropped their leaves, I'm going to have some gorgeous pink berries back out here. So in this flower bed, even in the winter time, I will have foliage on my coral bells. I'll have some berries. I'll have my blue boxwood hedge back there, giving me some evergreen color. And really, it's this time of year, you water, you fertilize, you pull the weeds, you deadhead, and you reap the benefits of being able to enjoy a beautiful garden. Thanks so much for watching, and happy gardening.